I will say Mount St. Mary's just doing a good job of moving the ball, getting those extra passes.
There's one right there, leading to the open three. And Gabrielle Kennerly, the redshirt freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina, knocks down the three, and the lead expands to 10. Sacred Heart answers right back in the form of the first-year Diane Crespo-Lopez just into the game.
And on the other hand, Sacred Heart is just pushing the pace. You see them getting to the free throw line and taking that quick shot.
And infection control there for Crespo-Lopez as Corey Pothier spotted it. Went over to give Antoine White an explanation. Let's see if we could find out where it happens.
Yeah, that's interesting. Couldn't even see it, but Crespo-Lopez getting her bucket.
Might have been when she was hanging on the rim when she was dunking it.
I could do that.
Under 3 to go. Amazingly, the ball doesn't seem affected by it with that cut on her hand. Nice inside look. Nayodi Gerard couldn't finish. Another freshman in this game seeing time.
It just seems as if Mount St. Mary's really sticking to their game plan on offense. They're moving the ball, sharing the basketball, getting quality shots, but also going inside out. It's making Sacred Heart be put in rotation.
Full court pressure once again. Sacred Heart breaks it. Williams peels away, now fires from deep. Rebound is down to LeMaster. Under 2.5 to play, opening quarter. A pair of 1-3 teams in league play. Raffalo throws it into the backcourt. It's a violation.
Important thing to note as well, Mount St. Mary's 4 of 7 from the three-point line. That also opens up the inside for them. That's why they've been able to go inside, outside the ball movement. Really looking good on the offensive end right now.
LeMaster, the graduate student, played at both Dayton and American before arriving in Emmitsburg. Pryor has been quiet after a quick start. That one's off the rim, and a loose ball foul called against the Mount.
Mount St. Mary's just flooding the paint. Obviously, they know Pryor is lethal, and she's going to get hers. She's going to get her shots. But what type of shots are you giving up? That mid-range, she's not the most effective at that one, but that's something they're willing to give up.
It's amazing to watch a player at 5'3" score the way she does around the rim.
And also average like 6 rebounds a game. It's pretty impressive.
Wood on the drive. Amelia Wood has it for Sacred Heart. It's her first bucket of the game. Pioneers turning up the heat, and they come away with the steal. Wood on the baseline. Pryor does not save it, as it's out of bounds, as both teams have committed 6 turnovers.
Tough pass right there, but when Sacred Heart is able to get stops in those traps, they average about 9 steals a game, and that's where they thrive, when their defense leads to offense.
Tough pass as Kennerly tried to thread it to Raffalo. On the other end, it's Wood. Her layup is off the rim. Gerard didn't spot Raffalo on the other end.
She was wide open.
Tessa Engelman, the sophomore, into the game. Both teams rolling deep into their lineups as Raffalo holds the finish on a 3.
Raffalo does a good job of when she gives up the ball, she still relocates to find herself for that shot.
Faith Pappas, the answer on the other end. The Fordham transfer knocks down the triple as teams exchange threes here late in the first.
Faith Pappas, she's been starting to find more minutes and also find her rhythm offensively, but she's mainly a three-point threat.
Did you do the Secret Ram handshake before the game?
Not the Secret Ram handshake, but I want to say I played a part in her official visits. We missed each other, but she was there on the official visits when I was hooping back in my days.
Another look at the drive by Kennerly.
What a nice pump fake by Kennerly. She gets her defender in the air and just puts her head down and gets to the rim.
Redshirt freshman, and I think in the last couple of possessions, we've seen the good and bad of freshman play. Turns it over a couple of possessions ago, a bit too ambitious, looking for Raffalo on the cut, but that time a nice fundamental pump fake to get herself to the line.
And speaking of the freshmen that you just said, more than half of Mount St. Mary's roster is new to the team, with only one newcomer who's possessing previous Division I experience. So obviously, to credit Anton White, being able to get this team to gel and build that chemistry, and he said it, from high school to college, that is a completely different level of play.
Good continuity, conversely, on Sacred Heart with 10 returners, including 3 starters, headlined by Sierra Pryor, who has it here with the shot clock off. Garrard with some token ball pressure as Pryor sets up her drive. Instead, she dumps it off. Extra pass, Williams. That was a good-looking 3. That was just a bit too strong as LeMaster comes down with the rebound to complete the first quarter. 21-13, the lead for the Mountaineers. Sacred Heart looking to regroup, trailing by 8 after 1. Back here at Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart and Mount St. Mary's playing for the first time since they were both members of the NEC. Sacred Heart with the significant edge in the all-time series, 34-11. Although Mount St. Mary's won the last 2 as part of their regular season meetings 3 years ago. And it's a series that dates back to 2000. 25 years and counting of the Mountaineers and Pioneers. Melise Dudley lost it out of bounds.
Really smart decision for Mount St. Mary's to stay into this zone, because the truth of the matter is, until Sacred Heart can start knocking down some threes, teams are going to continue sagging off and clog those driving lanes. And Mount St. Mary's just clogging the paint for them and making it hard for players like Nyseera Pryor to get in there.
Sacred Heart just 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. LeMaster has hit 2 from deep. Couldn't convert that time. Kick ahead Pryor. Draws the attention. Gets it back from Pappas. Pryor into the paint. Now Williams driving right into the teeth of the defense.
Especially on that kick out right there when Pryor made the defense collapse. That's the shot you want to be able to take and knock down.
Now she only has 4 seconds to operate. The crossover. Pryor off balance. And out of bounds. Engelman could not corral it along the baseline.
One of the ways you can beat a zone is obviously the short corners of getting into the high elbows, but also looking at it from the high-low action. Being able to dribble through the zone is just not going to work.
That 3 is short. Loose ball foul against LeMaster. Rebounding continuing to be an issue for Mount St. Mary's. Pryor crossover. Once again, a change of direction. Gets inside. And a late whistle against Gerard will put the Baltimore, Maryland native at the line for 2.
Honestly, really good defense by Gerard, but Nyseera Pryor, she is just too quick to handle sometimes, and the change of pace and getting herself to the free throw line.
Nyseera Pryor from Baltimore, Maryland. It's about 60 miles away from Emmitsburg, the home of Mount St. Mary's, where Antoine White saw Pryor play in high school. The head coach for Mount St. Mary's saying, "I'm a huge fan," and he remembers a summer while Pryor was in high school where she was just lighting up the gym, and everybody came to watch her just pour in points as a college prospect.
He tried to recruit her, but she chose the Pioneers.
Jessica Minetti bringing her into the folds. Impressive freshman and sophomore campaigns. Continuing her strong play as a member of the MAC, as she's got it 1-on-3, pushing pace, and the layup just falls off the rim. She's up to 6 points after those 2 makes at the line. And Perea traveled. Turnover number 9 committed by the Mountaineers.
At Mount St. Mary's, though, you've seen that a few times in these possessions. Perea getting her feet into the paint, jump stopping, and being able to get that kick out, and that has been working well for them.
Pioneers down 6. Dudley thought about it, back to Pryor. Those 2 play catch. Crossover, Pryor, the bounce. And the foul with Raffalo out of position.
Raffalo just too late on the help defense, got stuck behind there. But you can see it. Mount St. Mary's, they just look really good in sync on the defensive end, playing those gaps. And take a look at this right here. Raffalo caught behind, and that's where she picks up that easy foul.
Esther Kursite at the line, the first year from London, England. 63% at the line with 1 more coming. Down to a 5-point game. Sacred Heart has forced 9 turnovers. Make it 10.
Despite Mount St. Mary's having 10 turnovers, because they've been able to produce offensively and knock down those open looks, it hasn't mattered too much.
Pryor catches it in a double team. It's against LeMaster. That's her second of this first half. Wesley Ferguson is out. There's Hodnott in for LeMaster. Mount St. Mary's, they've gone 10 deep. Sacred Heart has played 9. Pryor tries to turn the corner.
They're just cutting off the drives right now, doing a really good job of it.
Pappas just tries to throw it off of Hodnott to no avail. Mountaineers on the move. Kennerly fires from deep. She drains the 3.
A nice little secondary break there. Gets a wide open 3-point shot. And Mount St. Mary's, defense to offense, we've been seeing a lot of it for them.
Lead is back up to 8. Mount St. Mary's at one point led by 10. And it's a traveling violation against the Pioneers.
Mount St. Mary's just speeding up the Pioneers right now in the offensive end. We've seen some mental lapses, the travels, the turnovers. That's where the Pioneers just really have to lock in on the details, take care of the basketball, move the ball.
Both Kennerly and Rafflo with 8 for Mount St. Mary's. Just Rafflo on the floor for this possession. Another turnover. That's number 11.
It's been hurting them with those turnovers. And Perea, that's the second time she got caught in the paint of trying to jump stop, but gets called for a travel.
Pryor facing a trap. Sends it to the corner. And the Pioneers give it right back.
Neither team is the most crisp right now, but because Mount St. Mary's is knocking down some of those open looks that they're creating for themselves, that's the way they've been able to get this lead.
So now the Pioneers go 10 deep with Grace John entering the lineup. Pryor gets a breather. Into Rafflo, now facing. Seven to shoot. It bounces to Hodnott. Rafflo dribbles into a deep 3. That does not graze the rim, and it's a shot clock violation.
That was a better defensive possession by Sacred Heart right there. Rotating, communicating, denying one pass away, applying ball pressure.
Sacred Heart breaking the press with Pryor on the bench. Crespo Lopez on the pull-up. Uncontested rebound for Rafflo. Not many of those in this game. Hodnott fires from deep. Lips out. Low-scoring first half, midway through the second quarter. Carmen Williams has her pocket picked. Hodnott trying to glide in for the layup, and she'll have a chance at 3.
Hodnott picking pockets over here. Getting it done on the defensive end. You see she gets her from the back. What a nice little swipe, and then she pushes the ball out and just finishes in transition for her team. And no one sprints back enough.
Might not have realized the defenders were closing in, but she converts on the layup and will have a free throw when we return to the Pitt Center.
After all your hard work, the studying, practices, and rehearsals, you deserve the best for what's next. The best in Connecticut higher education. Outstanding nursing and health professions programs, premier learning facilities and world-class tech labs, a nationally ranked business school, modern residential, social, and recreational facilities, championship D1 athletics, and pro-level performing arts. Make your next step the best step. Apply now to Sacred Heart University.
Hold on. It's only noise.
Can Anthony Edwards live up to the hype?
It's only rivalry. A little hard work. Only a kick. It's only a jump.
More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly. More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
After all your hard work, the studying, practices, and rehearsals, you deserve the best for what's next. The best in Connecticut higher education. Outstanding nursing and health professions programs, premier learning facilities and world-class tech labs, a nationally ranked business school, modern residential, social, and recreational facilities, championship D1 athletics.
Jessica Minetti, 12th season leading the Pioneers. A near lifelong Fairfield County resident, looking over the box score and seeing her squad down by 10. Coming off of those back-to-back NEC championships, winning a couple of years ago on the road at FDU, last year here at home, and winning that play-in game to get that NCAA tournament victory on the resume during her time here at Sacred Heart.
Her resume speaks for itself, but she has made this into one of the top programs in the Northeast, and obviously 4 postseason appearances during her time here. Just really impressive all around.
So why'd you maybe talk about it?
Because I like talking about people. They deserve it. You know, shine some light. Come on, David.
You're right. The resume does speak for itself.
Got to back it up here now.
27-16. Hodnott completing the three-point play, and Mount St. Mary's taking its largest lead of the game thanks to a 6-0 run. Just 3 points in this second quarter for Sacred Heart.
Kennerly has an impressive skill set.
Deflected away, but right back to Williams, and does not get the friendly bounce. There's Kennerly kicking to Rafflo. A corner three. Joe Rafflo knocks it down. She's into double figures, leading all scorers with 11.
And that's what happens when you're able to shoot like that from the outside. It opens up a lot. And you mentioned the biggest lead of the game for them, 13 points off of turnovers for Mount St. Mary's, and have forced Sacred Heart into 11 turnovers. So that's been a tremendous factor for Mount St. Mary's.
Foul is committed by Kennerly. That is her first. So we mentioned earlier how Mount St. Mary's coming off of that home loss to Manhattan, in which they led by at halftime. Sacred Heart was on the road against Merrimack and lost 64-53. They too had a halftime lead and lost it in the second half despite having 3 double-figure scorers for the first time in MAC play.
And that's what Antoine White talked about, too, is being able to put 2 halves together, play consistent basketball. You can't just have a great first half or a great second half. It's got to be the full 40 minutes.
Under 3 to go, first half. Some perimeter ball movement. Rafflo gives it back to Engelman. Rafflo, same spot, same result. Knocking down another corner 3 in this first half. She's got 14, already better than her season average with 2:20 left in the first half.
It's the driving kicks that are opening up Rafflo.
No continuation as Dudley got fouled on the floor. Nearly traveled before the blocking foul was called against Jamison.
Really good help defense by Jaden Jamison, being there on time. And Nally's Dudley tries to go all the way, but does get herself to the free throw line. And the Pioneers have not went to the free throw line a ton, just 3 for 6.
Rebound tracked down by Kersite, but then she traveled under pressure.
A lot of stoppages just from the turnovers, out of bounds. That obviously can impact the flow of the game, especially for Sacred Heart, trying to find rhythm offensively.
Inside, Rafflo. We've seen the outside shooting, and that time on the block.
And that's why she's so efficient. Shoot it from the outside, but also post up in the paint.
14 in a row for the Mountaineers. Pryor back into the game. Beautiful delivery. Emma Kirby on the block. Third assist for Pryor.
That's the way Sacred Heart has to move the ball. You get that dump off to Emma Kirby.
Blocked out of bounds, but a foul. A push called against Kirby. Just the second team foul against Sacred Heart in the quarter. But Gerard, in the act of shooting, will head to the line.
Gerard tries to go all the way, and Emma Kirby gets caught.
One of 2 for the freshman from Quebec City.
And now Mount St. Mary's in a full court press here too, trying to get some traps and force some turnovers.
Right, if you're going to make one, the second make allows you to set up the press. Pryor fakes the pass. Oh, that was saucy as she has a chance at 3.
Pryor just continues to make these highlight reels type of plays. The pump fake, getting the defender to go to one way and finish the other. Look at that inside out. Whoop, and scoops it right over.
I'm sorry, what was that?
How did I know you were going to comment on that? I just felt the tension.
No tension. I just didn't know that you were a sound effects board.
Remember, I'm a triple threat person. You told me.
Pryor knocks it down. How about that for a triple threat?
And that's an area of a game that Ny'Ceara Pryor continues to develop. And if she just is able to knock down more threes, she's going to be hard to stop.
Timeout Mounts. Missing the free throw. Kirby the offensive rebound. Great spot to the corner. Ny'Ceara Pryor knows what to do with an open look. She jumps into double figures with 11 as Antoine White calls for time.
16 points off of turnovers for Mount St. Mary's. That's obviously been an area that they have been able to excel in, just forcing a ton of turnovers. And you mentioned it too, when they can set up their press, that's what's hurt Sacred Heart. Having to take the ball out of the net every time, you're going against a full court press.
So it's a Pryor 5-0 run after Mount St. Mary's scored 14 straight to take a 19-point lead. Joe Raffalo with 16 first-half points, already better than her season average. And we're not even done with the first half, although she is sitting on the bench for this possession. She's at the scorer's table to check in next dead ball after a brief rest. Garrard on the baseline. Jamison head on three, rattles it down, and the Mountaineers make another shot from deep to give them 9 made three-pointers in the first half.
Jamison, only her 4th made three-pointer of the season so far, but she can stretch the defense with that shot.
Pryor turns inside Kirby, nicely done, muscling it up over Jamison, who had to protect her 2 fouls.
Seems like Sacred Heart just starting to find more flow. They've picked up their intensity on the defensive end. You see it on the ball screen actions, forcing baseline, not letting them get into that pick and roll action.
Shot clock is off. Corner 3 is good. Perea knocks it down. It's the 10th make from deep in the first half.
It's going to be simple for Sacred Heart to stay in this game and even cut this lead. They're going to have to defend the three-point line. You said it, 10 for 16 for Mount St. Mary's from the three-point line. That's way too many. Got to be able to know your personnel.
Mount St. Mary's second in the conference in three-point makes per game. They average 6.9. They've already got 10 on 10 of 16 shooting. Pryor shooting a pair. She's got 12 first half points with 1 more to come. Perfect trip to the line. Point 4 can just catch and shoot. And the first half is complete with Garrard running out of time as she tried to dribble it up, as she gets some instruction from one of the assistants as to what point 3 means on the clock.
What a first half here from Mount St. Mary's. The open looks that they've been able to get, creating some quality shots, getting stops on defense, 4 steals for them. Just all around, they look pretty good right now.
We will hear from Jacinda Dunbar, assistant coach for Sacred Heart. We have Adona trying to direct traffic a little bit, and
I'm sorry.
we'll just have Coach join us.
I just wanted a coach to sit next to me.
Got more than you bargained for here, Coach. as we're appearing here on camera. A little extra bonus for the audience at home. A little momentum towards the end of the first half. What do you think changed for you guys after allowing 14 in a row?
Yeah, I think we actually just kind of settled down a little bit. I think we just came out with a whole bunch of energy, and now I think we were able to channel it. So despite that last bucket, I think we got a little bit of momentum trying to play our game. So we'll see what happens in the second half.
Mount St. Mary's playing a lot of zone here, kind of taking away those driving lanes. How do you guys counter that?
Yeah, I think we just got to watch a little bit more on the clips, see what actions can kind of get us in the middle of the paint, and get some more paint touches. I think the more we can get the ball below the three-point line, we'll be a little bit more successful.
Thanks, Coach.
Oh, yeah, no
Good
problem.
luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Appreciate your time.
All right, see you guys later.
See you later.
It is halftime here inside of the Pitt Center. Our thanks to Jacinda Dunbar for her time and some insights as Sacred Heart trails 42-27 at the break against Mount St. Mary's. The national champion Sacred Heart cheerleaders performing during halftime as the Pioneers trail 42-27 at halftime. Backcourt side with Idona Thaki, David Resnick inside of the Pitt Center. And we saw that 14-0 run that really defined the game in the first half by the Mountaineers in the second quarter.
Well, first of all, Mount St. Mary's 10 for 16 from the three-point line and 11 assists on 14 made field goals. So they've just been able to do it all offensively.
When you make shots, you certainly look good.
Makes life easier.
Sure does. As we take a look back at some of the first half highlights from this Saturday afternoon MAC action. Joe Raffalo inside and outside, a team high 16 in the first half.
Well, Joe Raffalo has been so efficient in this game. 6 of 7 from the field and just doing it everywhere and getting open on the three-point line and able to capitalize on that. And then for Sacred Heart, they've been able to get some shots here, or Emma Kirby getting those dump-offs, but they've got to continue putting pressure on defense against Mount St. Mary's and not giving them these wide-open looks that they're getting on offense.
It's really been the story of the first half, overcoming the turnovers, overcoming the fouls, as Amelia Wood coming off of 10 points contributing in the first half. But the three-point shooting, again, 10 of 16, evenly splitting it 5 of 8 in both the first and second quarters for the Mountaineers.
And Gabriella Kennerly, she's been impressive too to see just the way she's been getting her feet into the paint and making that extra pass and getting those open three-point looks. But let's not forget Nicera Pryor. She's got a whole second half here. We haven't seen too much of her in that first half, but how is she going to respond? Is she going to be able to find those looks, find those driving lanes, and maybe even make those extra passes?
Pryor did have 13 in the first half, but doing a lot of her damage late when the Pioneers were trying to build some momentum after going down by 19. Rebounding numbers even. That was a concern about the Mountaineers and just the way that Mount St. Mary's has shot the three-point ball has really been a difference. More makes than attempts for Sacred Heart.
But for Sacred Heart, too, I said this earlier, 2 of 6 from the three-point line. Until they can start knocking down some outside shot, teams are going to continue to sag off and clog those driving lanes. And you can tell right there, their points in the paint, 16, predominantly a paint post team. And can they start to continue to find some of those rhythm shots?
42-27. It's the lead for Mount St. Mary's. Both teams coming off of a loss last time out, trying to get that second league win, as both are 1-3. A past NEC rivalry renewed here in Fairfield. (42-27). It is still halftime as the teams return to the floor to get ready for the second half. As we welcome you back courtside along with the former Fordham Ram of the A-10, Idona Thacke, David Resnick, but we are here to talk MAC hoops. Busy slate of games, as you would expect on a Saturday. Mount St. Mary's and Sacred Heart, the only game that's tipping off at noon. So we have a chance to kind of think about what's to come later in the day.
And we take a look at these. Obviously, Quinnipiac and Fairfield, we've been covering some of those Iona games. They've been looking really good at the top of the pack, and kind of the bottom half is the question.
Merrimack making an impact. First year out of the NEC at 3-1. Quinnipiac, Tricia Fabry during media day saying that she really liked her team and she's not one for hyperbole. But how about Fairfield? The Stags now 27 straight MAC victories after going 20-0 last year in the regular season. 3 more games down at AC. They've now started 4-0 after a win in New Rochelle on Thursday.
And you talk about expectations for Fairfield, the pressure, the target on the back. They've got a lot to keep proving, but they have been doing that so far, 4-0 in the conference. Obviously, Quinnipiac 5-0, the 2 teams undefeated so far.
Sacred Heart and Mount St. Mary's at 1-3, trying to use today as a way to catapult themselves and perhaps build some momentum into January.
Especially for Mount St. Mary's, this is a perfect game. They're finding their shots, and you mentioned when you're able to make 3-point looks, it makes things a whole lot easier. But can they put this second half together and do it on the defensive end as well?
Things really unraveled last time out for the Mountaineers. Sacred Heart last game had a halftime lead, so they should have an idea about how to switch momentum.
Putting together 40 minutes of good basketball, that's what it's about in this second half.
Second half is straight ahead with Mount St. Mary's having the halftime lead. It's 42-27 at the break here at the Pitt Center. We are ready to start the second half with Idona Thacke, David Resnick. First time that Sacred Heart has played at home in 2025. Mountaineers making the trip up from Maryland yesterday, arriving midday and practicing here at the Pitt Center last night before an early wake-up call And I walked into the arena knowing that Idona was well caffeinated with that super extra large iced coffee that you still continue to nurse.
I am nursing it.
I'm
want
on
it to
natural
last.
adrenaline.
I do have natural adrenaline. You know this, David. Come on. You know this about me. But come on, I need my coffee to last the whole game. Right?
All 30 ounces of it?
Yeah. I like to feel like maybe my viewers can relate to this.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I need something in my hand or just to sip on.
They're your viewers, not our viewers?
Our viewers.
Sacred Heart in the huddle. What do you think part of the message? I think we got a little bit from Coach Dunbar, but what do you think Jessica Minetti is telling her team here to start the second?
Obviously, we see Mount St. Mary's playing that zone, trying to take away those driving lanes, but it's going to be about getting some stops and not giving such easy three-point looks. They've got to lock in better on the details and just understanding personnel.
Both teams lost halftime leads on Thursday as the freshman Kinnerly gets called for the offensive foul. So will the Mountaineers learn from their mistake and close this one out? Or will the Pioneers reverse their fortunes and come from behind and take this home victory?
Mountaineers trying to trap here.
12 Sacred Heart turnovers in the first half. One better than the Mount. Underway in the second half. Amelia Wood, short on the three. Madison Ruff had 2 first half fouls. Her minutes were limited as the Mountaineers make another 3. It's Kennerly, the redshirt freshman, and the 11th make from the outside.
I really like Kennerly's game, just an all-around player, but even in that shot, that corner 3, just really quick release.
The sophomore Dudley called for steps.
Their 13th turnover for Sacred Heart. Like I mentioned before, when you're not taking care of the basketball and the Mountaineers just able to capitalize on it and get some points off of turnovers.
Rafflo curls, kicks out, but to the front row of the bench.
You can see Antoine White telling Joe Rafflo, stop off of 2 feet in the paint. And it's so important to play off of 2 feet so you can make those type of passes in case someone cuts you off, you can pump fake and throw it the other way.
Rafflo the board, and then she traveled as she went down to the ground. What does it mean in practicality playing off of 2 feet?
Well, when you play off of 1 foot and let's say somebody comes to block you, now you have to take the shot. You have no choice. But if you're playing off of 2 feet and you see a shot blocker coming, you're still able to stay under the control and not force up that shot.
So it keeps your options open.
Absolutely. You can kick it out, you can go up for a shot, and do many things.
Loose ball foul called against the Pioneers.
It's been interesting to see, too, Mount St. Mary's has attempted fewer field goals than Sacred Heart. So Sacred Heart is playing faster, but they're just not converting their looks and not able to capitalize.
Mountaineers have made 11 threes, their most in a game this season. Ha-Not spinning, good defense there by Wood to wall up the driver. And she takes it end to end. Could not finish. Wanted a whistle. 4 on none. Ha-Not to Kennerly.
You have to get back in transition. You got to stop the ball. And Mount St. Mary's had a a huge advantage there. Nobody was back.
Kennerly joining Rafflo in double figures.
And now Sacred Heart is just getting a little bit out of control, forcing up some shots. You saw Nyseer Pryor trying to get into the paint and takes it against 3 people. And our guy over here is confused.
Lori Deutsch is heading over to the scorer's table. We're back underway, under 7 to play, third quarter. Rafflo on the move, offensive foul.
When you talk about how impactful you can be when it doesn't constitute scoring, that's Nyseer Pryor, getting the charges, getting the deflection. She just does a bunch of little things, but also somehow still is able to produce at a high level offensively.
She left her feet there, Rafflo. Is that a 1 versus 2 feet example?
That is a great example. If you stop off at 2 feet there, you don't get that charge.
You're a good teacher.
I'm so happy I have your approval.
It's not approval, I'm just trying to learn.
Don't they say, like, the student becomes a teacher, or did I make that up?
I'm not there yet. I'm still the apprentice.
Oh my gosh.
LeMaster from deep. She hit too early and now connects there. And the lead is 23.
LeMaster's just so efficient from the three-point line. And it's been from the corner majority of the time.
"12 made three-pointers.
It's really hard to beat a team when they're producing like that from the outside, the inside, just efficient all around. But that's where you can't have your defense slack. If your shots are not falling, your defense has to be on point.
Kirby on the glass. She'll head to the line.
Take a look at this dump pass. Emma Kirby, who has 6 points so far, just hasn't gotten too many touches there inside the post, and she's somebody who can finish around the rim.
Rafflo at the end of the bench, limping off. She missed 3 games earlier this season with an ankle problem, ankle issue. Don't know if it's a re-aggravation of the injury or the different foot, but she has walked herself over to the athletic trainer's table in the corner, and we will continue to monitor her situation. Jump ball, possession arrow, Sacred Heart. So we should note that Rafflo exits the game with her squad up 23. Foul against Gerard.
A lot of stoppages right now for both teams. And again, it's hard to find a flow when you're turning it over, getting some travels, jump ball violations, all that stuff. It takes into account.
4:05 into the quarter, and Sacred Heart is already in the bonus. Empty trip And Sacred Heart still scoreless in this third quarter.
It was a good idea by Perea, trying to draw that secondary defender and kick it out to Kennerly, but just not able to get a good passing vision there.
Wood catches on the sideline, but out of bounds. Mount St. Mary's has scored the only 8 points of the quarter. Pryor out to defend LeMaster. Kennerly into the paint. LeMaster catch and shoot, rolled off the rim.
And Sacred Heart just looks a little tired right now. A lot of their closeouts have been slow.
A kick out three is off the side of the rim. It's down to Jamison after the Johnson miss. The Mount relentless on the glass. And that whistle brings us to a media timeout. Mountaineers extending the lead to 23. An 8-0 third quarter run. Welcome back to the Pitt Center. Another look at the drive by Gerard and a rare offensive rebound for the Mountaineers. It's Jamison that collected it and will shoot a couple of free throws. Just the second O board of the game for the visitors. That's my fault.
No, please. Teamwork here. Gerard just doing a good job of attacking the basket, but Jamison crashing the boards, getting that second chance opportunity, and it's been impressive to see how Mount St. Mary's just haven't taken their foot off the gas pedal and keeping that intensity and energy up.
Sacred Heart has attempted 8 more free throws than Mount St. Mary's. Pioneers already in the bonus, but they haven't been able to take advantage of their additional time at the line. Kirby missing underneath. Nice footwork to get an open look. Sacred Heart this year has struggled at the line towards the bottom of the conference as a nice 2-player game underneath. Garrard setting up Jamison for the lay-in.
And if you're going to switch that, you've got to get the roller, take something away.
Sacred Heart looking for its first points of the half, and of course, it's Nicira Pryor.
I have not seen a player like Nicira Pryor, 5'3", the hang time that she has, and just snakes her way through the defense.
10-second count. For Pryor, what are the different ways that she creates daylight for her to get her shot off?
It's her change of pace, the hesitation, getting her defender in the air and then just blowing past them. Those are the type of reads that's hard to defend. Change of pace is probably the hardest thing to defend. You ever watch Luka Doncic? I don't think he's the fastest player, but
He plays in the MAC?
No, but I watch all types of basketball. But it's just a perfect example as Emma Kirby finds her shot. But being able to change pace is so vital to the game.
Kirby finishing this time, and she'll have a chance at 3. Free throw is good. Joe Rafflo back into the game. Ankle taped. Looks to be okay as she cuts. LeMaster, no. Wood couldn't grip it.
It's a good-looking shot there for Mount St. Mary's. Everyone touched the ball, the driving kicks, and LeMaster just didn't knock that one down, but they are able to get a second chance here.
12 of 20 from beyond the arc. Lori Deutsch coming in to talk with Corey Pothier to make sure, and now Hillary Harwell will join the conference to see who touched it last.
It looked like Mount St. Mary's, but another look here. Amelia Wood may have touched that last, but
Pryor the steal, races into the open floor. Missed the first, rebounds, and then got fouled by Heather Middleton, who just entered the game for the first time.
Nicira, like I mentioned many times, she's so good at getting into passing lanes and getting those deflections and just getting a full court transition play for herself. Against Merrimack, she had 4 steals itself, so that's an area she's always just looking to do.
She's had 2 double-doubles this year. The most recent one, 18 points, 10 rebounds against Merrimack. And then she had a points, steals, assist, or double-double, excuse me. Points, steals, double-double earlier this year.
And it's so impressive because you would think a lot of players, when they're producing the way that she does on offense, probably one area might lack, which would be probably defense, but she does it on both ends of the floor.
7 straight for Sacred Heart. Rafflo ends that. Another triple for these Mountaineers. They've brought their shooting with them up from Maryland, and they now have 13 makes from beyond the arc.
Mount St. Mary's shooting just has really hurt Sacred Heart. But to be honest, nobody's contesting that shot. You saw Joe Raffalo, she filled up the lane, gets a wide open look. Nobody is there to contest.
Second in the MAC in three-pointers made per game. Third in three-point shooting percentage. They already have their single-game high with more than a quarter to go by knocking down 13 triples. LeMaster from straight away.
The paint touches are there, but what's so impressive is the inside out, finding those open looks.
And a held ball. Possession arrow favors the Mountaineers.
You obviously want to credit Mount St. Mary's for being able to knock down those shots, but also Sacred Heart just not there to contest. Not understanding personnel, who the three-point shooters are. We've seen that from Anna LeMaster and Joe Raffalo a few times now.
Under 2 to play in the third. And it's going the other way. Front court, Wood gets around the defender and one.
Amelia Wood trying to bring some energy to her team right now. Has struggled from the field and just being able to knock down some shots, but one thing you don't see drop from her is her energy and intensity. Obviously trying to bring her team together through the highs and lows.
Sacred Heart, similar to the end of the second quarter, waking up here towards the latter stages of the third. Nasira Pryor leading the way for the Pioneers with 17. On the other end, it's Joe Raffalo, 19 points. Has knocked down 5 3-pointers, 7 of 8 overall from the floor. And there she is, 4 in the blue, teeing it up, and she is on a heater.
You either got to go over that screen or it's got to be an automatic switch, especially against a shooter. You can't go behind that screen.
On the bounce, Johnson draws contact.
Sierra Johnson, who's been an exceptional role player. Jessica Minetti talked a lot about how we want her to take more shots, especially losing 2 huge guards who were key contributors on the scoring end. She said now it's her turn. She's got to be able to find her open looks.
A third-year junior. Just speaks to the way that Coach Minetti has been able to keep this group together. Wood off the rim. Raffalo turns the corner. And a timeout was taken by Mount St. Mary's. With 53.5 to go, this is the floater of the second half. 63-37. Mountaineers in front. 63-37. Mountaineers hot shooting here in Connecticut. And there is nothing like going 15 of 23 from beyond the arc to make you feel good about things.
They've just been able to find the openings on the three-point line, and Sacred Heart not adjusting to that. You said it, 15 for 23, shooting at a high clip. Really impressive effort here for Mount St. Mary's. And again, when you're able to shoot like that from the outside, it opens up a lot of stuff in the paint and the outside, driving lanes, makes things a whole lot easier and doesn't put too much pressure on your defense.
Mount St. Mary's just stepping on the sideline.
In an area they're going to have to improve it. 23 turnovers right now for Mount St. Mary's. Obviously, as they progress into the MAC play and playing these other teams, that's an area that they're going to have to get better at, taking care of the ball.
23rd turnover. But they get one back and then give it away to Pryor. Raffalo interrupted that shot enough to force the miss, and then a travel.
And these are all things you can control. The stepping out of bounds, the travels, it's what type of turnovers are you having. Those are all controllable.
And at the moment, being overshadowed, and we're being covered up by the 15 made threes. 5 in each of the first 3 quarters for the Mountaineers. Dudley turns, faces, terminates the dribble to Pryor, who leads into the defender. Last touch by the Mountaineers. Five seconds. Pryor on the move. Offensive rebound. The putback is short. And that brings us to the end of quarter number 3. Mount St. Mary's continues to lead. At one point, taking a 27-point advantage in this third as they look to close it out on the road in the MAC. Joe Raffalo leading the way with 22 for Mount St. Mary's.
She has just been so efficient relocating on the three-point line, getting some easy looks. 6 of 9 from the three-point line. You said it, 22 points. She's been on fire.
And efficient. 8 of 9 from the floor. 6 made threes. A new season high, too shy of her career best mark. Sacred Heart did have a run of 7 in a row in that third quarter as Kennerly again gets to the rim, the redshirt freshman.
What a nice, quick, explosive step. Gets her defender in the air and just puts her head down and goes to the basket.
She's got 15. Some symmetry for Mount St. Mary's as Dudley gets her first bucket of the game, in which the Mountaineers scored 21 points in each of the first 3 quarters, knocking down 5 threes in each. You've been mentioning all game how Antoine White has implored his team to play a full 40 minutes. Well, so far they've played a full 30, and we'll see what the last 10 minutes have in store.
We'll see.
Dudley could not complete the three-point play.
And Dudley did not play in the game against Merrimack, so obviously trying to get back into rhythm here.
So first miss of the season. Jamison called for the offensive foul.
I know Antoine White talked a lot about his freshmen and getting them to be ready for college play. I do want to know Gabrielle Kennerly. She's impressed me as a freshman. Just overall, great feel for the game, and just has a pretty high IQ for a freshman.
Nice drive to the bucket for Crespo Lopez. First year from Puerto Rico.
She's someone who's brought a lot of energy off the bench.
Kennerly's pass intercepted by Johnson. Sierra will take it across midcourt. Pryor spins, explodes to the rim. Off the back of the iron. She battles for the rebounds. Extra players coming in to fight for it. And a possession arrow to the Mountaineers.
The way in which Nysia Pryor puts her head down and gets to the front of the rim, that is tough to do, especially when you know the other team is trying to take away that driving lane and cut you off. She just continues to find her way to that spot.
Hodnott never established herself in the front court. LeMaster guarded there by Pappas, getting her off the three-point line, but Raffalo hooks a pass to Kennerly, and she just misses. .7:30 to go.
Antoine White has got to be pleased with the way Mount St. Mary's has been communicating on defense, the rotations, and just closing out.
Dudley with another layup. Now, Elise Dudley, after not scoring in the first 3 quarters, with 4 fourth-quarter points. Wesley Ferguson into the game. Kennerly a step back. Knocked out of bounds by the Mountaineers.
That's why it's super important to meet your passes, especially against this Mount St. Mary's defense where they have been denying one pass away. You want to bring them down and be able to get open.
Lemaster cut to the basket and got bumped by Pappas.
That is interesting. It looked like Pappas was still, take a look at, I guess Pappas was moving in a little bit with her hips, and that's where the ref saw that foul.
Lemaster to the line. Deemed that she was fouled in the act of shooting. 89% free throw shooter. 1 of 2, and it's down to Wood. Pryor got hit. She'll wait for her teammates to help her up before she walks over to the free throw line for 2 more.
The crossover, absorbing the contact, but also initiating that contact first. Pryor getting herself to the line. This is her 10th time to the free throw line, so that's something she does a really good job of.
Free throws 10 and 11 for Pryor. At her season average with now 18 points. Sacred Heart outscoring Mount St. Mary's in this 4th. Pryor up to 19 and a layup on the other end for the freshman Ruff. Dudley backing down Ferguson. And another freshman for the Mountaineers in the lineups stands her ground.
What's helped Mount St. Mary's as well is, we talked about this earlier, is having that deep bench. A lot of fresh legs coming in, being able to play full speed and have that intensity on the defensive end. What a great double team.
Hanat along the sideline, wraps the pass around to Ruff. Extra feed, and Ferguson.
Mount St. Mary's just looking fluid, playing together.
Pryor races the other way, does not get the friendly bounce. And Pryor took the rough
Awkward
end
fault?
of that exchange. No, I think she got hit above the shoulders there.
Yeah, she looked like she got elbowed.
She was out of position, so she gets called for the foul, but took the brunt of it.
Ooh. We were in sync there.
I've learned your soundtrack. Ruff going to the line.
Madison Ruff, another freshman on this team. Obviously, Mount St. Mary's, a newer roster, a lot of new pieces. And she's someone who's got the best field goal percentage on the team, so has also been pretty efficient as a freshman.
Full court pressure. Pryor spins away from Rafflo. And it leads to a 3 that lips out for Crespo Lopez. Battle for the rebound underneath the hoop. Possession arrow stays with Sacred Heart. And that whistle brings us to our final media timeout. A difference of 25. Mount St. Mary's leading wire to wire in this one, trying to close it out for their second league win of the year. Mount St. Mary's games coming up. They return home to face Ryder. They'll be back in Connecticut on the road at Quinnipiac, Siena, and Manhattan to follow. Quinnipiac atop the standings at 5-0. Meanwhile, for Sacred Heart, after today, they'll have Siena at home, travel to Jersey for St. Peter's. They'll have the Buffalo Schools here in Fairfield after that to close out January.
And just like that, January is almost over.
Don't say it.
And before you know it, we'll be at conference tournament play.
Whoa, slow down.
March Madness. I'm zooming. I am.
You just trying to get to the summer or something?
I can't say I don't love the summer. I mean, I'm pretty pale right now, so.
It's your audience.
Girl problems.
It is
You wouldn't
your
know.
problems. I see. Madison Ruff on the baseline. Good defense there by Dudley, keeping her hands straight up. Or rather, it was Persight. Beg your pardon. 14, not 4 now into the game. And a foul called against Mount St. Mary's.
Mount St. Mary's with 20 assists on 24 made field goals, and Sacred Heart with only 9 assists. That just shows how well the ball has been moving for Mount St. Mary's, which also results in open looks.
Approaching 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Offensive foul as Persight lowered that shoulder on the dribble. Raffalo checks out. We'll see if it's for the final time with her 22 points, 6 boards, and 3 steals in 29 minutes. Ruff drives it, 5 on the timer. Jamison. Teammates wanted that one to go down. It's a tie-up, and the Mountaineers will get another possession.
They sure wanted that 16th made three-pointer right there. What also has hurt Sacred Heart, 11 for 24 from the free throw line, so 45%. That's a big difference, too. Those are free shots. The clock's not moving, and not able to make those makes a huge difference.
Ruff, the hesitation, the drive, and the foul.
Madison Ruff, another freshman on this team with the best field goal percentage, that inside out, hesitation, gets to the rim. You think you could do that, David? That little hezzy and go all the way to the rim?
Why would you ask me that?
Because I feel like you've got something in you, but you just don't want to show it.
I just want to know if you've got a Bark soundtrack in you for Madison Ruff.
I should have let it out, because that was a nice move. We've got
expected it
soundtracks
there.
in the back.
Freshman couldn't complete the three-point play from Sparta, Georgia. Wood will fire from deep. Offensive rebound, Kersite lost it as a couple of bodies hit the deck. As we've reached the 3-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and despite all of the good feeling on the Mount St. Mary's side, they still continue to turn it over. Number 28 on the game. And so we know coaches like to dwell on the negative, even in a win. And I'd imagine Antoine White might think about that statistical category on the drive back home.
The turnovers and also the personal fouls, 24 fouls. But when you're able to shoot like that, and the numbers that they have been producing from the outside, even inside, it negates those turnovers and personal fouls.
Kersite with a nice fourth quarter. Middleton off the rim. Crespo Lopez into the front court for Grace John. Her pull-up from just inside the foul line is pure.
Grace John getting herself into the paint. A nice little pull-up floater for herself.
Ruff drives it, scoops it up and in.
It's really tough against Ruff. She's so physical and has that advantage over Grace.
Inside, and Amelia Wood adds 2 more to her ledger. Montana Nix into the game on the Sacred Heart side. Perea draws the blocking foul with 62 seconds to go. So Sacred Heart on the verge of falling to 1-4 in league play, 5-9 overall.
Saw Kersite get frustrated there on that call.
Be back-to-back losses for the Pioneers as part of this second MAC weekend in January, in which Idona is trying to speed up unnecessarily. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy league play.
Be present. That was one of my 2025 goals, and clearly I'm not living up to it.
Yeah, rough start on that one. Madison Ruff tracks down the rebounds. Always room for improvements, even in victories. Middleton had a three that, again, her teammates tried to will home. Mountaineers on the verge of going 4-10. Pick up league win number 2 against 3 losses and get back on the winning track after falling to Manhattan at home on Thursday. And this victory, 34.8 seconds away for Mount St. Mary's, setting up the rest of the day in the MAC with the 5 other games scheduled for today, tipping off at the top of the hour. Raffalo did not come back into the game. She was done with 22 points, Kennerly 15, Lemaster with 13. Pryor for Sacred Heart with 19. The only player in double figures on the Pioneer side. As Kurt Sight draws the foul.
Another foul here for Mount St. Mary's. Again, that's been an area that they are going to have to improve in, especially as league play continues.
So Jaden Jamison fouls out. Tessa Engelman enters the lineup. Crespo Lopez checks out. Ty Davis is in. So Jessica Minetti getting a few back of the rotation players into the game for the final couple of minutes here against Mount St. Mary's. Shot clock is off. A wire-to-wire win for the Mountaineers. On the strength of 15 made threes, a season high. At one point, took a 28-point lead in the third quarter before completing a 75-51 victory. And we will hear from Antoine White, the fourth-year head coach of the Mountaineers, after this 24-point win on the road.
Great effort by Mount St. Mary's, and I'm sure Antoine White has a lot to be proud of here, but truly just got it done on both ends of the floor. Being able to go 15 for 29 from the three-point line definitely helps a lot.
So the 28-point lead Mount St. Mary's took here in the fourth before closing things out. Sacred Heart outscoring the visitors by 2 in the final quarter. Head coach Antoine White of Mount St. Mary's, when we talked before the game, you said you wanted to see your team play 40 complete minutes. How many completed minutes did you see tonight?
About 38. I got to talk to that last five that was in there. They gave up about 8 easy points. But outside of that, our group did a hell of a job today.
Obviously, Coach, the way you guys shot the ball tremendously from the outside in the ball movement, what is an area you still want to see a better job of going into league play?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of room for improvement with this group. You know, we turned the basketball over at a very high rate. You know, if we cut that down, I mean, we had 28 turnovers. Just get it under 15, please. And there's just more opportunities for this group, and that's a lesson that we have to learn. You know, if we want to beat some of the Fairfields and those type of teams, like, we can't turn the basketball over. So that's something my group has to be better at.
One other number, Coach, 15, the number of made threes for you guys. I want to just turn you a little bit towards the positive side. I know it's not a coach's natural instinct, but how about the outside shooting?
Yeah, this team is very capable. You know, when you look at Joe Rafflo and Anna and Gabby, what they can do from three. And Naoti's another one. You know, her three-point shot is coming. She's still working her way back. But we got some really capable shooters on this team. So, again, we got to take care of the basketball, continue to compete on defense, and give this offense more opportunities, and we'll be okay.
Thanks for your time. Safe ride home. Congrats on the win.
Appreciate it.
Antoine White, the head coach of Mount St. Mary's, after the victory here on the road. 75-51, the win for the Mountaineers. As we take a look at some of the highlights from this one, yes, there were the turnovers, but the three-point shooting by the Mountaineers and that game-defining 14-0 run in the second quarter, the big difference in this one today against Sacred Heart.
Especially with Joe Rafflo, 22 points, Anna Lemaster, 13, who've made up a lot of those three-pointers, and just efficient overall from the field. A lot to be proud of here for Mount St. Mary's. And like Coach Antoine White said, they're still trying to clean up those turnovers, and that's an area that they're going to continue to improve on. We
did our best, but I know those negative thoughts will fester for Coach. Isira Pryor with 19 to lead the way for Sacred Heart. Again, the only player in double figures as Mount St. Mary's led by the 22 of Rafflo, 15 Kennerly, 13 Lemaster in the victory. Once again, the final score 75-51, Sacred Heart. Next in action, January 16th here at home against Siena. And the Mountaineers will also be at home next time out, Thursday against Ryder. So for Adona Thaki, I'm David Resnick saying so long from Sacred Heart, where the final score is 75-51. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.